There's only one name for this bug eye, Lazarus. This bug eye is about as dead can be, and since Christ don't do cars, that pretty much leaves it up to me, with the support of you folks. So I got looking at this A-pillar, and my first thought was I was going to have to disconnect all this stuff inside here and do a whole lot of stuff and rip this all out. Then I got looking close, and this edge is just crimped over. There's a panel in here that's a H, or not an H, but a C channel, or yeah, C channel is what you would call it, that is spot welded to this piece, and it's got a lip that comes around this way. The A-pillar is merely crimped onto that piece. It is not spot welded on that piece. So I found that I was able to take this modified screwdriver, which I found very useful for digging crud out of places, pop it back around down in here, and use it to pry the metal back away from that edge all the way up and down through here. I haven't done it up here yet, but I will. And this piece, let me back this out just a little bit more. This piece from here all the way down to the rocker panel, I think I can cut loose the spot welds on this side, which I'll show you. So this side is spot welded to the firewall from here all the way down to the bottom. There's spot welds. I can cut those spot welds. This part right here, as you can see, is leaded, and that's where this piece and this piece come together. So I'm going to cut these spot welds down along here, and I'll bend over this crimp part here to get it opened up again, melt all the lead out of here, and then I should be able to twist this piece around and off, which will allow me to straighten up the dings and dents in this piece. It should allow me to get to the back side of the metal plate that these screws are screwed into. And then I should also be able to get down here. It should allow me to get down here and cut out this portion of the rocker panel that's rusted out. And I should also be able to get in, and once I can get to this back plate here, I should be able to cut and weld in a new piece into this piece that holds everything together and is sturdy again. So that's the plan. I think that's how they build it. That's how I'm tearing it apart. I had a hell of a time trying to get this little piece right in here loosened up, but I found that I could jam this large socket up in there, and that would allow me to work loose up around this corner. Sure it will. I got the damn socket jammed in there. That's it right there. So I've now got that all bent out all the way down through, except the very bottom there, which probably is going to be all rusted anyways. So I think I've got this all loose enough from this corner here where it's leaded to this next piece up here. I think this is all loose enough all the way down, except, like I said, maybe on the very bottom I might have to play with that a little bit. So if I can stick another socket in there and pry that loose. That should do it. It's not real loose right in there, but I mean, you can hear the metal grinding apart, so it's getting fairly loose. All right, folks, we'll see what comes of cutting those spot welds on the other side and trying to pull that piece off. I am concerned about what this piece is doing down here. It's possible they just put a lip across in there and that there's no spot welds. That seems almost like the way it would be done, but I won't know until I cut the spot welds up front here. When you look at this thing down here, it might be that there's just a flange going back that's not spot welded to the rocker panel. We won't know until I get all these spot welds down along this side cut and start pulling this piece out of there. I don't think that they spot welded these two pieces together because it's almost impossible to get a spot welder into this location, and the lead itself would be pretty good to just solder these two pieces together, and it would allow it to hold it, but if it wants to move just a little bit, it'll be able to move a little bit. So cutting these spot welds is what's coming up next, and then we're going to find out what kind of horrible stuff we got going on inside. Okay, folks, looks like I was wrong. They actually did spot weld this panel to this one. I melted all the lead out of here. They only had lead on this end and this end. And this looked like it had like a body filler or something in there, and then paint. I guess the reason for not putting lead in there was that they figured that you're going to tighten these bolts down, it's going to press into the lead and it's going to look ugly. But be that as it may, it is what it is. So I've got to take and take care of that one, those spot welds right there to get this piece separated from that piece. This looks like they tried to hit a spot weld right there but missed. I think what I'm going to do is take and use a drill to try to drill down through these instead of using my cutter, because my cutter leaves a hole that's about twice the size of, in fact, it may be 3 times altogether the size of these holes right here, or where their spot welds are. What I'm using to drill these spot welds out with is a 3/16 drill, and then I take a 1/4 inch drill and widen it out some more. And I'm kind of taking the drill and wiggling it around like this to get as wide and flat of a hole as I can. Then I'm using a 1/4 inch grinding burr, which has teeth on the end of it, to try to cut a flat out and get through the weld. And I've done it down here and here. There, I think. You can kind of tell when you busted through because you end up with a little burst of rust popping through, and you have to start slowly.
Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. For less than the price of a cup of coffee each month, you can support this project as a member on Patreon. See the links in the description below.
If I can give you a close-up view of this process. if you're lucky, you end up with that cutting through without digging into the base metal underneath a whole lot. The key is you got to start out slow so that the drill doesn't want to jump around on you. The bit doesn't. I take my little pry tool, you can see that this is punched through all the way. I can get that down underneath, and you can see that that just pulls right up and off easily. Makes me suspect that this piece right here where they put all that Bondo at is also rusted all out. So they just got a whole bunch of crud from behind there, rust and stuff. I have the horrible feeling that this damn thing was spot welded down here somehow first. I mean, how the hell do you put the goddamn thing together? This piece lays on top of this one. This piece lays on top of this one, which means this one had to go in first. You come around to the back side, this piece overlays another piece that's inside, which means this piece had to have gone on first. So no, this had to go on after these other ones. This had to go on first, another piece on the inside here had to go on first, then this piece. So how could you possibly spot weld this piece down to here if this piece and the one that's a couple inches away from it, it's 2.5 inches away from it. Those pieces had to go in before this one. How in the hell could you possibly spot weld this one down when those pieces are spot welded down themselves? I mean, right there, you can almost see that. Go just a touch wider, and you will be able to. So this piece here is spot welded down here, right there. So that piece had to go in first. The one that's 2 inches back, that runs up and down in here, had to go in before this one did. And then this went over this one. So that tells me these two pieces had to go in, had to be welded down to that piece, and then this piece had to go in. But that would suggest that this down here should really be nothing more than just a Maybe it is nothing more than just a gap that got stuffed into. The piece back on this side is C-shaped. It actually comes all the way around and goes into this lip. There's no indication that this was ever spot welded to this inner piece here. It feels like there's a spot weld right there. But I don't know how the hell you would have got a spot weld in there. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's actually very tempting just to grind this edge off, and then when I put it back together, put a thin piece of sheet metal in there and weld it right along that seam. And then when you grind it down, it'll look like it's all original one piece, but it won't be original one piece. Attached inside, damn it. Well, that's not good. I don't know what the hell kind of a mess we got here. But that inner piece is still stuck there. Some damn point we got to be through that weld. To be honest with you, I think I should have just ground that damn thing off. It's a pain in the ass trying to get it off this way, I can tell you that much. See if I can use one of these pairs of pump pliers to get in there and bend that damn stuff around. Goddamn thing acts like it's spot welded to that inner piece, but I don't see any marks from spot welds on this side. Worst they can do, ruin the whole goddamn car, right? Let's find out. It's only metal. We got a hot melt glue gun. Spot down here where it was actually spot welded right there. Now that I'm finally getting to it. There's a spot welder right there. Just hope the hell there aren't any more up through there. Maybe one there. I don't know. I guess we find them. Guess we find them as we find them. So if they're running those things every 6 inches, that means there should be another one right about in there. But it doesn't feel like there is. Today we have videos showing how everything goes together as they're building cars, but I wish to hell we had them for when they built these things so that we could have an idea on what you're going to run into to tear them apart. So now I know that there's 2 spot welds here. I suspect that there was a spot weld, in fact, on this inner piece, which you'll see in a minute as soon as I get this piece up and off. That spot right there. How the hell do I get that loose? There is a little tiny lip right here, maybe 1/8 of an inch wide. It wraps around to the back that I can't seem to get broke loose. Oh wait, I am getting it broke loose. How about that shit? I think there's a spot weld right there. We're gonna find out because we're gonna put a thing in and pry some metal apart. Oh, there's a spot weld right there. Spot weld right there. Well, I drilled through instead of just cutting out the spot weld. But did I get the spot weld broken? No, I did not. All right. It's acting like there's a spot weld up underneath of this piece still. What the hell does that go on to? Be one right there. That might have bopped it. Okay, we got more problems over on this side. Well, that came out. All right. Let us look at the carnage. And there's the inside of that piece. You can see, let's do this. There's the inside of that piece. You can see it's rusted all to hell. But I think I can save most of it. This is the nut that was welded in the top to right there, that one of the bolts for the windshield frame went into. That piece is off. We will now go into handheld mode. So, we can see lots of rust, of course. This is one of the pillars. This is the front piece I was talking about. You can see this plate right here is what the door screws into. Down here you can see, well, you can see that that brace is rusted out. This piece, which is the back side of where the door goes, is rusted out. That's rusted out. And the top of the rocker panel is rusted out also. So, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I think what I do is get as much rust as I can off of it and clean up as much as I can. Maybe make some new braces. These were spot welded in. That's odd right there. I guess, I don't know what the hell that was. Body putty. Yeah, that's right where the body putty was added. And down there, gonna fix that brace, fix this piece, weld up the rocker panel, come around to this side. Got to get these damn bolts out somehow. What fun we have coming up. I guess this is what you get when you rescue a car from the graveyard. Got some various spider bits and pieces in here. I'm just going to vacuum all that shit out. All right, well, that's it for the moment.
Okay, folks, that's it for this episode of BugeyeBob. I really appreciate you watching and hope that, like me, you've learned a few things in this episode. Please like, subscribe, and comment on this video and share it with others. You can help support this project by becoming a member at patreon.com/BugeyeBob in the link below. Patreon paid members get early access to the videos and in the future will enjoy question and answer sessions and live streams. As this channel grows, future Patreon member benefits will include bonus or extended episodes, member names and credits, and the ability to suggest topics for future videos. You can follow this BugeyeBob restoration on YouTube and Facebook at the links below. Once again, thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and supporting this channel. And remember that sometimes the most important job you can do is a dirty, thankless job.